Okay, even if you shoot stock semi-seriously, you're going to come across situations where your photos have logos and trademarks and writing and lettering and phone numbers and all sorts of things that you have to take out of the photo before uploading it. Nothing worse than uploading a great image that you spent hours producing only to have it rejected because of trademarks and logos. So here's a photo I've already got ready. It's almost ready to go to stock, but there's a couple of adjustments I'll make to the actual contrast and that kind of thing. But first of all, I'm just going to get rid of all the logos here and show you quickly how easy it is and show you how important it is. But one thing I will say, whenever you look at a photo for adjustments like this, then I would always say go to Control-Alt-0 and bring the photo up at 100%. That's exactly what the reviewers will do, so you need to see what they're doing through their eyes, and that way you can scan all four corners of the image just to make sure that you're seeing all of the logos. So you've got some here on the tyres, so let's just quickly get rid of those. Oh, in fact, we'll do that in a second. Let's just go through the photo first. This definitely has to go. The writing there, because it's obviously someone's name and company. The trademarks on the tyre here has to go. There's a tiny bit I'm going to do quickly here on the exhaust pipe. So you select a really small brush. Now I'll explain what I'm doing here. I'm using the clone brush to start with, and I've got a very small brush, and the hardness is set to 0, so it's very, very soft edge, so it doesn't look obvious. I'll show you what the difference is. If I choose a slightly bigger brush and 100% hardness, and then I make some adjustments, you can see it leaves these lines and it doesn't blend in at all well. So if I then choose a very soft brush, you can see it blends the photo a lot. It's a lot nicer, a lot more natural, if you like. So use a soft brush where you can, and we're going to select a very, very small brush here to get rid of this little bit on the exhaust pipe. And the way you do this, you don't have to stay at 100%. It's worth zooming right in so you get this absolutely spot on. Select the smaller brush you need. Now to select an area around the outside, you press down Alt in Photoshop, left click, and that's selected this area here. Then I let go of the Alt key, move up, and then press left click again, and it will start painting that area in. So you just keep doing that all around, just taking detail from around the outside of the bit you're cloning, so it looks kind of natural. You're not adding something that doesn't look like it should be there. Okay, so we've done that, a little bit there, so when we zoom out it should look quite natural. That's not bad. If it doesn't look completely natural and clear like it should do, select the healing tool, select a smaller brush, and then select a uniform area with similar colour and texture and everything, say such as here, and then press Alt, left click, and then go up and just dab those bits away, and it should, oops, not that bit. Let's have a look. And then it should just blend in quite nicely like that, so when we come out it looks quite natural. So let's go back to 100% again and select the clone brush again, and we'll have another look around. Always check all four corners of the photo. You want to make sure that you're getting rid of all trademarks and logos that you can see. Here we need to get rid of those, the trade and the logo there. Obviously this bit on the wheel, I think that's just about it. But you have to really check each corner, because that's what the reviewers will do, and they will reject it if there's any other lettering or logos or writing or company names, things like that. So I think we've covered it all there. So I'm quickly going to start on this bit here and show you how to do that. Now because we've got the shadow here, we need to keep that shadow in, which is going to make it slightly more difficult, but we'll select a slightly larger brush. All I'm going to do is select halfway across the shadow here, left click, and then just move my way up like so, and just go either side. And we've kept the shadow in. Let's do that again just to move up slightly more. If it's not straight, just keep doing it until you get it right, but I think we're okay there. There we go. Now you're going to get times where the shading changes slightly, and I'll show you how to deal with that in a sec, because it can be a little bit tricky, but the idea is to keep it looking as natural as possible all the way through the photo. So let's just bring that down ever so slightly to there. That looks a bit too obvious because we've got 4 of those light specks. Let's just do that. Take a bit from there. So you're always taking your reading, your target, from around as close as possible to the part you're actually cloning over. So it's not taking extra detail from somewhere else that doesn't look right. So that's kind of all right at the moment. Let's just make that a bit more natural down there. So when we zoom out, it doesn't look too bad. Let's have a look. I can see a few lines there, so it looks obvious that I've tampered with it a bit. So let's just bring that down. So once again, I would select the healing brush now, get a slightly larger brush. So I'm going to pull some texture in from elsewhere, just to kind of make it look a bit more natural. like that. So we're just pulling some more texture from there to keep it looking good. So that now looks okay there. Yep, the lettering's all gone from either side. So what I'm going to do is I'll finish this in a sec. That looks very straightforward. When you get this close to something, if I do Control-Alt-0 and go to 100%, I don't think most of the time you're going to be close enough to really get in there with the finer details. So there's no reason why you shouldn't just zoom in to what we got there, 600%, going as close as you need to so that you can actually get rid of any kind of detail, but really make it look good, really make it look natural, but zoom right in as far as you need to then get it looking as natural as possible. So you're not going to take away any of the detail from the exhaust pipe or whatever it is, the peg or whatever here. So we'll just skim along there and get rid of that. So when you come out, you've actually go back to 100%. It looks quite natural around there. So we'll do the same with the rest of this, but we'll also do the same with the tyres down here. And again, 100% isn't enough to get in between these letterings on the tyres. So what I would then do, scroll right in, select a very small brush and start working on those. And again, let's have a look. Let's just do this little bit here. It's not going to look too natural to start with because we're going to have some difficult shading areas and stuff like we've just done there. So if I just do this very quickly, you'll see that we'll end up with some things that don't look quite natural. Don't worry about that for now. Just clone what you can like this. Okay, so it looks like we've tampered with it there. It's fairly obvious, but again, if you select the healing brush at this point, select an area of the tyre that is fairly uniform, such as here, and then just dab. Don't move the cursor, just hover it over and click. So it's just blending. So we click, 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 and it's blending all of that tyre in like that. So you can see when we zoom out, 100%, it looks pretty natural. Let's just do a couple of bits more there. So you can see there all the shading has become very, very natural, so it just looks like the normal rubber now. So I'll do that for the rest of the tyre, but remember to use the clone brush and the heal brush. Clone brush to do the majority of the work, and then the heal to literally heal it back so that it pulls all the details and makes it quite smooth so you can't see the work that you've done. Make sure you look at all the shaded areas all around there. So I'm now going to work on this and come back when it's finished and show you the difference. And there you go, that's all the logos and trademarks gone now. If we revert that back, you can see them all in position. So there's all the photo with all the trademarks and logos, and there it is without. So you can see that we've done a fairly good job of getting rid of all of those. And if that did fail for any reason now, I know it wouldn't be for the logos and trademark issue. It could be for anything else, but that's obviously ready to be uploaded to any stock agency now. So make sure that when you're doing the cloning, you do it well and you pull from around the outside of the actual part you're cloning away, and then if it does look a bit ropey afterwards, then obviously use the healing brush to heal it back to looking quite smooth and natural, as though you haven't actually tampered with it at all. So I hope that helps. Just have a practice, but get used to it. If you're going to do shoot stock for long enough, you're going to have to get rid of logos and trademarks. But remember to first of all look at 100%, because that's what the reviewers will do, and then if you need to get in for some really fine detail, don't be afraid to go up to 500, 600, 700% and really get into work on the fine detail. So like I say, I hope that helps, and just get practicing, and we'll see you on the next video.